Welcome to my channel, mga pinsan. So, today's video is about the reasons why I left the Philippines. And it's been years, probably more than a decade since I left the motherland. I love it, but that time when I was younger, I think the primary reason I decided to be an overseas Filipino worker is career stagnation. I graduated from medical school that time, and for the most part I was doing locum or moonlighting, as we call it in the Philippines. And I was working probably 60-80 hours a week, and that was just barely surviving that time. This was early 2000s, late 90s. My batchmates and I in medical school were having a hard time to break through the the medical practice, just because a lot of hospitals were asking for a bond or stocks, which were about 500,000 pesos to about 1,000,000 pesos, just $10,000 to $20,000 that time. I think it's more expensive nowadays, but that time it was really hard. And it was a hard phase in my life, just because you think that once you graduate from medical school, then you just be like earning money. It wasn't the case that time. I was doing moonlighting around Metro Manila, the Luzon area basically, and the money was just not enough. We would be working like 12 to 24 hours for about $20 a day. And every hospital would pay you different. I didn't have any residency training that time. I was just a general practitioner. Like, I passed my medical boards in the Philippines and started practicing. Basically, I work mostly staffing ERs, and then assisting minor surgeries and major surgeries, doing minor surgeries myself. I think that time I had a lot of moments where I really thought I can't do it forever. It was burdensome, and you feel it in your body, like it's physically taxing. So I think that's the main reason. Like, I couldn't find any reason or like an advancement in career during that time. Second reason I left the Philippines is mental fatigue. So I think this is related to the first reason. I passed the boards, but I didn't really have any direction. I applied for residency training in one of those prestigious hospitals in the city, but I got rejected, and it was a major blow to my pride, quote unquote. And I had a lot of nightmares just thinking how I could have failed that time, because I thought I worked hard for it. But that's my side of the story. I'm pretty sure they have their own reason why they rejected me that time. But, looking back, I thought things fell into place, and now I'm here in the US. The third reason would be for charity. So when I was rejected from that residency training, I went back to my hometown and did medical missions for about close to probably 4-5 years intermittently. I work with indigenous people as their primary physician for free. This work was basically pro bono, and I was doing moonlighting in Metro Manila around my hometown. But whatever money I got from those gigs, I would use it to buy medicine to sustain, or to dole out to the local people, like tribes people. I thought it was a pretty good gig, but eventually I got burned out just because, it's constant, and I thought this charity, the well of charity, really runs deep. So I thought maybe someday I can explore this area in my life and have that financial freedom to open up a foundation and continue to work and maybe be able to sustain this kind of charity work. The fourth reason that I left the Philippines is checking my phone. Just for sense of adventure. I didn't know about South Korea or Japan that time, but when a friend of mine called me to work there to replace him, I did not hesitate. I mean, money-wise, it was really good compared to what I was earning in the Philippines. But I think what I enjoyed the most in South Korea and Japan is the sense of learning or being able to learn another culture, learning their language, their traditions and culture. And that somehow prepared me when I moved to the US. I was there for about 5-6 years, I think. I didn't plan it that way. I initially thought I'd just stay there for a couple of years, but then I ended up longer than what I was planning to. I saved all the money that I could, and that was the money that I used to pay for my U.S. medical exams and also for the match and application to become a doctor here in the U.S. There's a lot of pros, like advantages of leaving your hometown, and a lot of disadvantages too, especially because my family is very closely knit, and not just me, I think most Filipinos would agree that the hardest part is leaving your family behind. And I didn't have any kids or family that time, but leaving your parents, your comfort zone basically, it was tough. I mean, homesickness is real, and I basically had to learn how to eat Korean cuisine, which is pretty good actually eventually. But you have those moments when you just kind of yearn for something that is familiar, something that is home. I know it's a difficult journey to be an overseas Filipino worker, and we all have our own stories. I see and I read and I follow these OFW groups on Facebook and online, and I know what you guys are going through, but tell me about it. I mean, post your comments, tell me your story. And this is my channel. Welcome, and thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. I hope to see you around. Bye.